Scotland are back in the game, back in the running, in with a shout, in with a chance, a real chance, a chance to grab glory. I've actually recruited a Scottish person to join me on this Scotland-Hungary preview, and we just had a little chat before starting this video, and he told me quite a remarkable statistic, and that is in the whole history of Scotland playing tournament football, they have only won 7 games. 7 games. So, Geo, I will ask you this much. With Hungary coming up now, you're looking for, I presume, a win and a historic moment, right?
Yeah, only a win will do. Draw, lose, we're out. Win, we will likely be in the last 16 of the Euros. It's do or die time on Sunday night, and I'm really excited for it, actually. The plan was 4 points. Steve Clarke was very clear about that before we even kicked the ball at the tournament. 4 points and we get out of this group. We've got one. We beat Hungary. We're in the last 16. It's as simple as that.
So tell us about the game against the Swiss. I watched bits and pieces of it, actually. You said that for the last 10 minutes you were pacing around. You were stood up, pacing around your lounge. Everyone would completely understand why that was. How did you feel that game went?
Very, very tense. Very, very tense. And I think it's summed up the Scotland team, where we've got quality in there, but we've also got moments of individual mistakes, and we've got maybe 1 or 2 players that aren't up to it at this level. But it's just a case of, can we balance out? Can we do enough good to sort of get rid of the negative, perhaps from the starting 11? And I think we've seen all of that in the game. But that was Scotland under Steve Clarke that I've come used to: hard working, aggressive. And when I say aggressive, it doesn't mean crunchy tackles. I just mean in your face, just energy from start to finish. And I thought it was a really good performance from us. And to some extent, I thought we were unlucky not to snatch the win in the end, actually. I thought we might have done and created enough to steal it. Did we dominate Switzerland? No. Were we the better team over 90 minutes? Perhaps not. I think it was quite an even game. A draw might have been the fair result. However, I was really pleased what I've seen. Bear in mind, we just got smashed 5-1. Confidence must have been pretty low, but you couldn't tell that last night. I think the boys were really at it. And I was once again, from the start, with the best national anthem there is, sung loud by thousands of people to the full-time whistle.
The Swiss national anthem.
I'm ignoring that. I'm a very proud Scotsman at the moment, and full of hope for Sunday night.
Did you feel, obviously a rhetorical question, but they didn't play like a Steve Clarke team against Germany, or how much of it was just Germany being so bloody good because they've had obviously looked impressive? I know it was only a 2-goal victory, wasn't it, in their other game? Germany.
Both, because that performance that we've seen on Friday night, you can get from a Steve Clarke team as well. We've seen it now and again where it's a big occasion and it can be a bit white flaggish. And I said to you in the preview for that game, there's 2 things I don't want to see. 1, wave the white flag, and 2, get smashed. And we did both. But there was none of that against Switzerland. There was a complete shift of attitude and mentality. And, you'd have been forgiven. I think you'd have been forgiven if we decided to try and hang on for the draw. But I didn't feel like that. I felt like we were trying to get the win. And we weren't throwing the kitchen sink at them, because that would have been stupid. We'd have opened ourselves up. They had to pace the attack. We've got a slow defence, and Bolo was up against Grant Hanley. You had to be quite careful with the risks you took. But I thought we did that. And we were unlucky. Like, Hanley hit the post, and Robertson's header across the face of goal that hooked away by Akanji. We've seen some fantastic goals in the Euros, but we've seen some strange ones as well. We've seen an Albanian own goal. We've seen an own goal by Austria. The way Portugal won the game against Czechia as well. Some weird things have happened in the 6-yarder. On another day, Akanji doesn't get the clean contact on that. And you just never know what happens. So
sure.
I was pleased. But listen, Friday against Germany and against the Swiss, I think you've seen both sides of Steve Clarke teams in the Scotland shirt.
Yes, indeed. I know the answer to this, but you would have watched Hungary against Germany. I watched quite a lot of that game, actually, and I think Szoboszlai was very, very good, but their number 20 was very good. his name begins with S as well. It's,
Is it Sally? Yeah, it is.
Sally. So yeah,
We know him because he plays for Freiburg.
there you go. There you go. Well, he was very good. I thought he was very, very good, actually. Do you think they're a better team than Swiss? More of a
No.
challenge? No. Oh, okay.
Well,
Interesting.
Switzerland beat them comfortably in the first
Mm.
game. I think there's the barometer. And Hungary had moments in that game, but fact of the matter is they've got no points in the group. And Switzerland have got 3, we've got 1. Well, Switzerland have got 4, sorry. We've got 1, and Germany have got 6. So they're the worst team in the group thus far. And at times they did all right against
I
Germany,
thought so,
but
yeah.
I think Germany missed a lot of chances in that, especially the last 10, 15 minutes. And you could say that they gave up a little bit after Gundogan scored in
They
the
started
head.
making substitutions,
Yeah,
early substitutions, to be fair.
But I think there was a couple of big chances for Germany, and on another day, I think it's 4-0 Germany, should be told. But Hungary have a good team, and they'll come out knowing that if they win, they've got a chance of going through as a third-place team. It would depend on the other third-place teams. So it's not really in their hands as such. To some extent it is, but it's very dependent on other teams. Whereas for us, we know a win. I'm going to say we're 90% through if we get 4 points in the group. I'd be surprised if you got knocked out with that. So I do wonder, the mentality is interesting because with 10 minutes to go last night against Switzerland, I wonder if both teams will accept a point here because it suits the Swiss. They're on 4 points, the game's spare, they're probably through. It suits us because we get a point and we know that we beat Hungary, we're through as well. So I wonder if any team's going to risk it. They didn't. It felt a bit cautious from both teams. It was almost like a little bit of a mutual agreement as to neither of us really go, we'll just try and catch you out kind of thing, but neither of us are going to go gung-ho here and risk the point that we've got. The mentality of Hungary is going to be interesting because let's just say with 20 minutes to go, if Scotland are winning 1-0, they've got to score 2. They've got to turn. A draw is no use for them. They have to win. So I do wonder if I felt like they gave up a little bit against Germany. I do wonder if maybe they're going to give up against us. Should we be leading with not much time left on the clock? It should be an interesting game, though. It's do or die for both countries here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to hear you say that. Actually, I'm intrigued what you may say at the end of this video. We're going to get any adjustments you might be making to your team in just a second. Before we do that, can I please urge you, prompt you to download the Match Bingo app, which I'm just trying to work out. Damn it, this camera's in reverse, is up there. I even thought about it before I did it. I should really know because there's what a great pinball machine behind me. Anyway, doesn't matter. There's the logo up above my head, up there. And don't just download it because I've almost bashed my head on a non-existent logo. Download it because it's a bloody good app and you can win some money. We've had a load of winners on this app. What's Match Bingo? Well, Match Bingo is a combination of that thing you love, football, and that thing your granny used to play, which is bingo. They've combined them together to create a game, a wonderful game, whereby it makes a game of football far more interesting because you can win some money. And the best thing about it is I'm going to tell you about 2 games where you can win some money for free. Free money ain't too bad, is it? You get a bingo card. On that bingo card, it's got 15 things that could happen on it. Might be a substitution. Might be someone having a shot. Could be a throw-in. Could be a corner, something like that. Every time one of these events happens, you get a little tick. And then what you've got to do is, out of the 15 things, 3 rows of 5, you've got to complete a line. You'll get a line, you'll win some money. Get 2 lines, you'll win some money. Get a full house, you'll win even more money. It is a betting app, by the way, so it's 18 and above. Please use the link in the description below. Now, I know you've come from Hammer's Chat, and then we'll get a bit of love for that. I'm not going to pretend otherwise on that one. Loads of people have won. I think we've had 55 to 60 winners on purely people like you who watch Hammer's Chat, and those are the only people that have talked to us about it. Ukraine game and the Georgia games are both free. If you're going to do the Scotland game, it's a £2 stake. Get it done. Get it downloaded. Match Bingo up there somewhere. Geo, do you want to make any changes to the team, firstly, and then tell us what they are?
Well, we have to. Kieran Tierney, once again, went off injured on a stretcher. Feel gutted for him because he's a good player. He's just riddled with injuries, and he was expected to leave Arsenal this summer. And I think this tournament was a really good opportunity for him to perhaps earn a move somewhere. Heavily linked to Celtic. There was a few Premier League clubs perhaps looking at him for his transfer fee is really low because of his injury record. So this summer was a really good opportunity to show what he can do. And Well, he did. He got injured. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And we've already started the Euros missing a few key players. Like we're on our third choice right wing back, for example, and we're now missing 2 of our first choice centre backs because Proteus is suspended. He got 2-game suspension, so he's missing this one. And Kieran Tierney is now injured. So he's sort of forced with these changes at the back. He's going to have to go with Scott McKenna, Grant Hanley, and then Jack Henry as well. That was going to have to be the back 3. Stick with Gunn in goal. And I probably wouldn't change anything else. I think I'm not a big fan of Ralston. I thought he was poor against Germany. Then he was the one that did the dodgy back pass. Which
I know you sent me that WhatsApp message last night.
It was funny though, wasn't it? It was a good meme.
Yeah.
But basically, the guy from Baby Reindeer's obviously Scottish, and he was in the crowd, and somebody said this guy had a stalker, but the worst thing he's had to do is watch Ralston play for Scotland. So it tickled me. It tickled me. And I feel a bit sorry for him because he's not really played much this season because he's just not first choice at his club at Celtic. So, Germany, maybe the occasion got to him. I thought he was poor there. Keeps the shirt against Switzerland, and he goes and makes that mistake where he plays it back in. It's a world-class finish by Shaqiri. Like, it's an unbelievable goal. So on another day, that goes over and he gets away with it. But because he got punished, and then I just thought from then on he was really nervous. In the second half, I think he was a bit better, but I thought they were going at him. And I think if you're the Hungarian manager, you're looking at that, and there's a weakness in the Scotland team now where it's just been exploited a little bit. Robertson did his best as skipper. I was pleased to hear him after the game basically saying that he thought Ralston had a really good second half. And I don't agree with him per se, but I think it's fantastic leadership to pick out the one guy that's made a mistake and give him the credit. It would have been easy to pick out Scott McTominay or something, but he doesn't need to be singled out by the captain. I'm pretty sure Robertson will be doing that in his changing room, but live on air, just to almost put your arm around the guy that's made a massive error and say, listen, he's done all right. He's made a mistake. He knows he made a mistake, but he's played really well. And I thought that was really good leadership. But I was pleased with what I've seen from everybody. I think Gilmore was fantastic. I think McGregor is so-so, but I'd keep him in. And I thought McGinn was good. McTominay was incredible again. And this is where Clarke made a mistake playing him in sort of a defensive midfield position on Friday, but he's back in that attacking midfield one, got a goal. And then Trey Adams had a really thankless task up front, chasing everything. But I thought he did the job well. Whenever he needed an out, I think he was there. And I think it's going to be the same against Hungary. The only thing I would suggest is maybe the substitutes could be done a little bit earlier. I thought we were a little bit tired for the last 10, 15 minutes. And I know we don't have the same quality on the bench as other countries. Switzerland had a better bench than us. They were bringing on Mbolo, for example.
Yeah.
But I thought Ryan Christie was a really easy sub to make for someone. And he did it in the 88th minute or whatever. But I just think maybe use him a bit earlier because he's a fantastic player. And one change, a forced one. It makes me a bit nervous, McKenna coming in for Tierney, but there's not really much options.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you nervous?
Yeah, I was nervous as soon as the full-time whistle went. I had this mixed concoction of happiness, excitement, pride, and nerves because it's now real. The last Euros, we were out as soon as the ball was kicked. Really, we never had a chance. And again, Steve Clarke mentality. We just didn't really have a go. But now we're 90 minutes away, winning we're through. That it's in our hands, and we're up against a team that we want to be up against. We're not up against Germany. We're up against Hungary, the team with no points from 2 games. This is as good a chance as we'll ever get of getting out of the group stage. One game, win, you're through, and you're up against a side who there's no rubbish country. Well, arguably, it's us. But there's no rubbish sides at this tournament. They're there on merit, and 4 of the 6 teams that finish third go through. I don't like that rule. It's never been more teams go through than go out. I don't like it, but it's never been easier to go through. We're never going to have a better opportunity than this to go through, and we'll make history. And there will be an asterisk next to it, which is but it was changed. You finished third.
I don't think there will be,
but. I don't care. I do not care. I don't make the rules. Let's get through to the last 16. Do you know what? Then we can really dream. Just imagine we did this. Imagine we beat that team and kept on going. I'm not saying we're going to do a Greece, but football's about believing. Football's about permission to dream, and because of that result last night, we've been given that permission. That reaching the last 16 is a realistic possibility now, and I'm buzzing for it. Honestly, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to ask you if you're confident, because I think that would be a hard one to be confident anyway. But let's talk about belief. That you just spoke about, and not even so much the right to dream, but the belief. And about Steve Clarke as much as anything, because obviously he was a bit spiky, as you can imagine why. A bit spiky after the first loss to Germany. David Moyes was at pains to defend him as well. So I've been in that situation, been asked questions you don't particularly want to answer him and stuff like. He loves a bit of McTominay, just David Moyes. I'll tell you what, we wouldn't, if West Ham had assigned McTominay, we wouldn't have been thinking, was that David Sullivan, was that Stuyton, or was that David Moyes? He loves himself a bit of Scott McTominay. That's to be it's bloody obvious. But Steve Clarke, do you think that number one, there is a better vibe for him? I can see that myself. Don't need you to answer that. Do you think when you do line up to sing that iconic anthem, Spiky Thistle of Scotland, do you think at that point that Steve Clarke is going to believe? Do you think he actually believes that he can take Scotland through?
He doesn't have to.
Oh.
I don't think he needs to. I hope he does, and he says all the right things with a very downbeat
Scottish accent.
Well, it is Scottish, but it's very downbeat. There's not much excitement in his voice. It's a very bland way. It comes across very monotone, and sometimes you need a little bit of inspiration. But I don't think you need inspiration from Steve Clarke. I think the players have got that. The fans have got that. I think there's enough from everybody else to counteract the lack of encouragement you're getting from the manager to some extent. It would be nice, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yes, he is a massive contrast, isn't he, to the excitement of the fans?
But
he really does, doesn't he? It's
to some extent, I think you almost need that little bit of balance, and there's 5 minutes to go. Maybe we've got a throw in, and you could see Clarke saying to Robertson, "Just calm it down, calm down." And actually, sometimes you need a bit of that, because players can get a bit excited and lose the composure. And all the best teams in the world, you look at Man City, they're always calm and composed. There's 3 minutes on the clock and they're 1 goal down. There's no panic. There's no launch it into the area. It's like, let's just stick to our game plan. And it usually works. And I think sometimes you actually maybe just do need that somebody just to say, whoa, let's just, because the fans are going to be treating this lot like heroes before the ball's even kicked. And O'Flowers Scotland on Sunday will be incredible. I get goosebumps listening to it and stuff like that. And I think you can see the players, bar Grant Hanley, belting it out and stuff. And you think this team believe in themselves and each other. And I think all the players have been saying the right thing. And I've seen a bit of leadership from Clarke when between the games, when they were basically the media duties, is it's a player that goes and gets interviewed for the BBC, etc. And Clarke insisted on doing them all himself, basically. And he basically said, no, I'm taking this. Like, I'm the one that's going to get questions about what went wrong and stuff. I'm like, my players don't need to be asked that. You don't need to ask my defenders why we conceded 5 goals to Germany or anything. Ask me, and I'm going to... And he's took a lot of responsibility, and a lot of it was down to him, but a lot of it was down to the players as well. And I felt like he almost become a bit of a shield for the squad as much as he could in the last few days. And it's worked. I think it's worked. And I think
it's good management, isn't it?
I don't think he'll do it this one. I think he'll let the players go in front of the media now, because it's now a case of, are you going to do it? And it's going to be, yes, we are. And I think it's a completely different field of questions the players are going to get, and it's a completely different response they're going to give. And I think he's going to allow, I'd imagine McTominay, McGinn, Robertson will all be sat in front of the media this week, really drumming up our chances and belief. So Clarke, is he the most inspirational guy? No, I don't think he needs to be. I don't see it as a problem.
To be fair though, Gio, I mean, you could almost level the same thing at David Moyes. A lot of the stuff beforehand, but bloody hell, he got a win, didn't he? He started singing about shagging and started hugging a geezer that had kicked a cat, and he let himself go, didn't he? He completely let himself go. So I reckon, I reckon under the right circumstances, Clarke probably would, chuck off the the cloak of sensibleness or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
And let him
behind
go,
closed doors, it'd be different. Like when we qualified for the Euros the first time, all those videos came out, and yes, sir, I can boogie, and him and his team would have been there celebrating, having beers with the team and stuff like that. He'd have let himself go, but he's presented himself as this very emotionless guy in media, and sometimes you look at it, bloody hell, we have an injection of enthusiasm, please? But I'm not arsed. I really don't care, because the fans are out there having a massive party, and there was a pivotal moment in the game when Switzerland won top, and it must have been about the 65th minute, and we were doing well at this point, and then we gave the ball away, and Switzerland had just pinned us back for a few minutes, and we were putting some crosses in, and we were under the cosh a bit. Then everybody just started singing "O Flower of Scotland," and it's quite a long song. It's not a chant the last 10 seconds. It goes on for a good minute or something.
Can you share it with us?
I'm not shaving it. I don't have the best singing voice, so I will not be singing it. But it was very loud. And by the end of the song, we were in Switzerland's half, and it was almost just like, I just watched it thinking, you just don't know what that does to a player. Maybe just roll their sleeves up that little, but just give that extra 2%. And do you know what? Yeah. That lack of energy, and I've now got this burst of adrenaline, and it gets us up the pitch. And
how much of the half do you think the song lasts for?
Shall we carry on?
Okay. Right. Well, we'll get your scoreline. But before we get your scoreline, let's imagine Steve Clarke has been waylaid. He's singing "Thistle of Scotland." He's in the 18th verse. He's forgotten he's got to give a team talk. Geo Mackey's been parachuted in. I don't know why you're on a parachute. Could be an electric scooter if you want. You're in the dressing room. What are you going to say to those proud Scotsmen and the Englishmen that are in there as well? What are you going to say to them to motivate them? And then, please, can you then give us your scoreline, please?
I would have my media team editing a video. What are you laughing at?
Your answer.
Yet.
Go on. No, I'm enjoying.
I'd have them looking through all the social media, etc., for videos and clips of Scotland fans talking about how much this means. Have the fans singing. Do you know when it goes to the crowd during the second part of the national anthem? The first part, it goes along the team, doesn't it? Then it goes to the manager and the bench.
Yes.
And then you get a few seconds of the crowd. They pick out a couple of people. And there was one guy, they were all singing the heart, but there was one guy, he had his eyes closed, and he was just screaming the words. And I think just show that footage to the team. Just show them that. Just show them what it means to them. Forget what it means to you and your families and stuff like that. Forget about that for a second. And just look at what it means, and just show them footage of all the fans in Germany for the last week or something singing. There's clips going around on social media of these two Scottish lads. There was an old guy with his Zimmer frame going across the square, and he was pissing down. And these two Scottish fans got an umbrella and just walked with him, speaking to each other with a bottle in their hand. But the old guy was in the middle of them with his Zimmer frame, not speaking to them around. I assume he's German, but just show them what it means to a country, because it's not a fan base, it's a country. And just let that be your team talk. You don't even need to say anything. If you need to do a team talk before a game like this, there's something seriously wrong.
There we go. And your score prediction, please?
What's your score prediction?
I think you're going to do it. I think you're going to win 2-1, actually, and I would like you to do it as well, because I want to do more of these previews and take the mickey a little bit as well, which I quite enjoy. But I do want you to do it. I don't. I think it'd be very, very, very good for Scottish football. I think it'd be very good for the interest in. I think even English fans, actually. I know a lot of people say, "No, get rid of them," and it was all, there was after the first game. I'm assuming I didn't send you anything because I'm nice.
I got plenty of memes. Yes.
Okay, you've got plenty of memes. You got the Scotland Hotspur stuff.
That one annoyed me the most.
Okay. I didn't send you nothing because I am a very, very nice man.
I was getting it from people who support a country that have only won one trophy.
It's one more than you've won, my friend. You've never seen them win. Hold on a second. I was being nice. Now the gloves are off, right? He's never seen Scotland win a football match in a tournament. I mean, even on the television, he has never seen Scotland win a football match in a tournament. And look. listen, you can blame everyone. I bet Tom and Bez, you blame them. Everyone sends you the memes, right? I'm going to get some bloody memes now. I'll tell you that. I'm going to go and make my own meme. Anyway, what's your score prediction?
For what it's worth, the funniest meme was Braveheart, and it said 8 p.m. And then there was a picture of like train spotting, and it said 8:10. And now those ones were funny, like they were funny. I don't mind them ones, so I can take a bit of a humor. I think we're going to do it, and I think we're going to win 1-0. I think it's going to be the most 1-0 game in the world of football, where we score early enough and just defend for our lives. And I think I'm not sure who the hero is going to be. It's got to be one of the Micks. It's got to be McTominay or Mick Ginn. One of them two have got to be it, because well, that's where the goals come from.
Don't tell me there are only 2 Micks in the Scotland team.
There's more Micks. It's just those two are those that will get us the goals.
Shane McAdams. Don't look like scoring, does he, to be perfectly honest with you? Well, there you have it. 1-0 win for Geo, 2-1 win from me. We both got Scotland going through it. Really sincerely hope they do it. What I would love to see, though, is while Steve Clarke is otherwise engaged, is Geo in that Scotland dressing room. And he's got it all planned out. And he's got his iPad saying, lads, I'm going to motivate you before we go out.
I got it from Kevin Nolan. He doesn't need it anymore.
It's buffering. Just get out there.